Right.
So many of these connectors are sitting there with plugs that won't plug into modern cars.
Mm-hmm. Trump administration is now removing EV chargers from government buildings. This is the General Services Administration, or GSA. They're shutting down reportedly 8,000 EV chargers at federal sites and deleting websites about EV efforts. 18 months ago, the GSA, which manages facilities and logistics support for federal government's sprawling network of office buildings, was openly celebrating its efforts to get more fleet and employee vehicles to go all electric. It was during the Biden era days. By 2025, a very different time in the federal government, and now GSA is reportedly shutting down all EV chargers on federal properties nationwide. We were speculating, are these chargers free to federal employees or to anyone for that matter, or are they the pay-for-use type?
My understanding is that they're the pay-for-use type, but they're not commercial pay-for-use. You go to Blink, you go to ChargePoint, you pay somewhere 50 to 60 cents per kilowatt for energy for your car, even though the provider of that system may only pay 8 cents or 12 cents or something like that. So they're not running at for profit. They're taking whatever costs they get in electricity and they're just passing it on to the person who has the car. Doesn't seem like very good business.
If the overriding concern is cutting government waste, creating some profitability, the infrastructure is already there. We're talking 8,000 chargers. Now, if it's not profitable, turn it profitable. Raise the rate to match or to exceed the cost of the kilowatts for those charging stations.
Another thing that they would need to do would be to change the connectors. A lot of the connectors on these chargers are CHAdeMO connectors. They've been phased out now for almost 5 years.
Good point. So we need some NACS connectors on those chargers. It turns out that they have received direction that all GSA-owned charging stations are not mission critical. While President Trump said on the campaign trail that he is for electric cars, his administration seems to be acting to the contrary. He issued an executive order to end what he falsely claimed President Biden's EV mandate, ordered a halt to federal EV fast charging funding, and is targeting an end to EV tax credits. It's kind of interesting that with Elon's participation and influence, something like this would have been enacted.
It does seem interesting to that, and yet at the same time, the one background article I read to help support this was saying that Elon is actually behind some of these moves because he sees the inefficiency that the government is running these chargers at a loss. And so it's like, shut it down, just get rid of it.
They say as far as the GSA is concerned, it was tasked with phasing out many of the government's fossil fuel-powered vehicles with zero-emission ones, once requiring that all light-duty federal acquisitions be electric or plug-in hybrid vehicles by the end of 2027. We'll have to see how that alters, changes.